We're about to take it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Tony and Julie on the radio. Dr. Joe's therapy on the radio. The love doctor going live on the radio. Two mics and a mind on the radio. Radio, turned up 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 on the radio. Two mics and a mind. Two mics and a mind. Two mics and a mind. Two mics. Watch this. And a mind.
What up?
Hello.
What up?
To mine.
What up?
Can you hear us?
We back. We back in the building. Y'all thought it was over, but we back.
We can't hear you either.
You can't hear Dr. Joe? Let's try to get Dr. Joe mic right. Let's make sure the mic right. Yeah, Dr. Joe, we don't get no volume. I can't hear nothing Dr. Joe saying. Tell you what, Dr. Joe, try signing out and try signing back on real quick. See if that gets you right. In the meantime, Tula, you looking nice. Look at you. You look all bright and everything. Look at your face and all. Look at the lighting. I like the lighting.
Oh, so do you, Wayno.
Huh? What you said?
You're not. So do you.
Oh, I appreciate that, Tula. I appreciate that. I heard you the first time. I just want to hear you repeat yourself. I appreciate you. All together. Oh, yeah. Dr. Joe, I can't hear what you're saying, Dr. Joe. If you still talking your sign language, I can't hear you, Dr. Joe.
We do not hear you. N-O.
Hey, you know no really means yes sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You just all depends.
In this case.
Guess what I got right now, Tula? Guess what I got in my hand right here, Dr. Joe? I got the one, the only. I'm going to show y'all this right here. And y'all let me know if y'all know what this is. Ooh, I got the red bag.
Dr. Joe,
the red bag.
pie.
Oh yeah. There's a lot going on with the red bag. There's a lot of stuff going on with the red bag indeed. For all those who just tuned into the show, one thing that we actually hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we actually hit that cash app from time to time. Make certain that you hit the cash app.
We can't hear you. Can you go out and come back?
Yeah.
Yes, got it.
Yeah.
Tell us what she gonna do as we tell her what to do. Hilarious. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, they say Dr. Joe was trying out her sign language, what they were saying.
Yeah.
She was doing that sign language. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Speaking of sign language, what I heard that in terms of communication, did you know that body language is 75%? So if that's the case, I could speak 75% of all different types of languages, right?
Yes. Okay. Sure.
Hey.
And people, you might want to add the other 75-25 would be facial expressions. How about that? Because people.
You real good with them. You real good with contortions. I hear you, Dr. Joe. I hear you saying.
How are you guys?
I hear you smacking. What up?
¿Cómo están?
What up? ¿Cómo está?
Estoy bien.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm well.
Yeah. I know a little something. Like, how about that? ¿Cuáles son tus planes para hoy?
Estar en el radio.
Sí. Me too.
Yo sé. Hello, guys. Happy to see you guys today.
Hey, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Can y'all believe we only a few days away from November?
It's flying. Time is flying. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful.
You see what's going on, children? We almost in November.
Yeah.
This right here is the last quarter. All them people who working on their taxes and working on they different year, fiscal year, business year. This right here, the last quarter, got to get them numbers right.
Ooh,
Got to
what
get
you
them numbers right.
That's
Black
right. Give
Friday
those
ain't just gonna
advice.
save everybody else, y'all. Do what y'all
what
can.
about?
You know what? As a matter of fact, everybody around here, how y'all businesses been going for the year?
It's,
I haven't closed anything.
I can't complain though. Like I think things are just growing. I think growth is the word for the year.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That's
that's
awesome.
amazing. I tell you what, I'm glad that things have been growing for everybody. That's what it's all about, growth.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
agree.
what it's all about, growth. The growth is really important, especially to women. I saw a woman in the store. I asked her what that round her head. She's like, "That's my new growth. That's my new growth." I was like, "Okay, what's your new growth?"
Oh, lame! Did you
That's what she
say
said.
that? Oh my god!
Ah, that's my new growth. That's my new growth.
That was
Out here.
painful.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We working in there. Tula, I ain't playing none of this. This just happened. I don't plan none of this stuff. This stuff right here is unrehearsed.
Now you
Hey,
feel better. I feel better
hey,
about it when
it's
you didn't
unrehearsed, unscripted. Matter of fact, I digest it and I see what comes out the other end.
play.
I think we know.
It's a lot of bull. We got it.
It's a
That's what
good
you
thing
gotta
though.
do. Just
Improvise.
gotta digest it and wait and see what come out the other end. That's what we gotta do. That's what we gotta do. But speaking of what we gotta do, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, Tula. Ain't that right, Tula? Tell us a little bit what we got to talk about, Tula.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Talk about Dwayno. What else we gotta talk about? We gotta talk about so many things. Kanye, children, just a whole plethora of things. But we're gonna start off Joe Biden. It's just a whole lot. And whatever you, our listeners, our viewers want to talk about, we are open to that too. You are always join the conversation, pose your questions, give your comments. We welcome them.
That's right.
I know that's right, Tula, because you sent me a good little video clip. I ain't even look at it
Yeah.
because I was
Ooh,
like, you know what? I ain't touching none of it because I want to save my first reaction. I want that to be my first reaction on the show. You send some good stuff, and I want to make certain that the stuff that you do is not overlooked because you put in some time sending and researching really good articles or whatever. So definitely segue them on into the show, and whenever you want to stop and want to share it, definitely do so.
right. Well, I
That's
will
right.
start off with this though. Okay, what about who do you have for the World Series? Since the Braves aren't in it, I'm very, very sad about that. But I'm over that, I think. So World Series is, tomorrow. First game is tomorrow. It's the Phillies.
So you schooling me on stuff. I didn't know that.
Me neither. Me and sports. I mean, I like playing them, but
What you mean? Okay, so the teams that are playing are the Houston Astros and the Phillies.
the
The,
Phillies made it.
the Philadelphia Phillies. Okay.
Good. Look at that.
Now, do you remember when we had we played them? I can't remember what year it was. Anyway, when he was in the running. Dusty Baker, the coach, right?
No, never heard of him.
What? Oh my god.
Nah, you said Dusty,
You
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
alone on this one,
a
too.
Dusty Baker. That doesn't
Yeah.
sound sanitary. I did. What restaurant does he work at? A Dusty Baker. Huh? Oh no, he's
I
definitely
can't.
not gonna bake my cake.
What?
You did not see me laughing, people. Nope, I'm not laughing. Nope.
Oh gosh.
Golly, Wayno.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, so he is the coach for
Hold
the
on, hold on, hold on. I got a laugh. I got 3 laughs. That's 3 laughs. I got 3 laughs. You see it
I'm
down
not
in the
sure if they're
commentary. I
laughing with
got three
you.
laughs.
at you.
At you.
So anyway, the manager for
Do you
the
need some cough syrup over there? Do you need some tissue? You kept saying at you, at you. Do you need a tissue?
Oh, that was not. That was not it. That was not it.
hi,
Yes,
buddy.
it is. I see you laughing. Too. I see you laughing. I
That
got
was
some
not
good
it.
stuff. I got some good stuff. I got some good stuff out here.
No.
Hold on, right there in the commentary, like we got some hate speech.
No,
Somebody
this,
said
You
he's
on
so
Good Morning
lame.
Radio, y'all gotta quit posting the hate speech. But I will take the full laughs. I got them crying laughing. Oh my goodness. That's what you need right there. Y'all want some good laughs? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that cash app doggone it. I don't want all these free laughs up in here. Y'all
okay,
ain't paid
that's
for
what
nothing.
I was saying. You're not gonna
Yeah.
interrupt me tonight. Anyway, the Houston Astros, the manager is Dusty Baker. All right. So he played professional baseball, and he is a black man. Okay, he's a black manager, right? For the Houston Astros. He's played for the Braves too, though. But anyway, so anyway, just to like this is a note for you guys. You probably don't know it, but there are no black players playing in the World Series this year.
That's strange.
You mean tell me they ain't got nobody on the janitor or nobody? Ain't nobody black?
Playing. I ain't say cleaning up the stadium.
Why would you
Okay.
say that? I am very surprised, sports wise. A black man, it's not.
So I played baseball. I played baseball for years, on
I've
years, on
heard.
years. And contrary to popular demand, that sport is turning. It's not as many black folks in it used to be. As a matter of fact, I'm totally against those organized sports altogether. I think football, baseball, basketball, all of them. You know what I mean? You know what? I'm against entertainment. That's what I'm against. I'm against the structure of entertainment in itself.
Why is
And I
that?
think that's really good. I mean, that's their sport. They own it. They own all the teams. Let them go out and do it.
The last happened was in 1950.
The last time it happened was in 1950.
That was the last time since before this time that there were no black players playing in the World Series.
And what's wrong with that? My goal is that no black players will be in the NFL and no black players will be in the NBA. That's my goal. Let them folks have that. Let them have that foolishness. We ought to get tired of sitting around you constantly entertaining people and not doing anything for ourselves, putting ourselves in a better predicament. We ought to get tired of that stuff. At what point are we going to get together, work together, cooperate, and learn how to function together in something that's going to be advantageous? How do we benefit from sports? Come out and tell me. What benefit do we get from playing sports? Keep in mind, only like 0.5% of the population of men ever even make it to that level to play in one game.
And whose fault is that?
Yeah, what about all
Whose
that
fault?
talent?
Whose
What
fault?
about all that talent?
No, what'll end up happening is we'll start to fantasize about their life, which is a fiction that don't even really exist.
That's life.
That's not life. That's actually not life. That's my whole point. What we see
That's
on
gonna be
TV
life,
is actually not life.
Bob Doctor.
That's not reality.
It's not reality, but it's gonna happen in the whole. It's gonna keep on happening. This is just life. It's not
a
reality.
step in the right direction that there's no colored players out there on that field. I'm tired of the whole place smelling like cocoa butter and watermelon anyway.
Don't do that.
I like going to watch the games. I enjoy them. You don't enjoy that?
I do too, and it's for entertainment purposes.
So
Yeah.
let me tell you something, because what you said about entertainment is spot on. Entertainment to black people versus entertainment to white people is something totally different. If you look at our entertainment and things what are deemed entertainment for us, you can look and literally dissect how it is non-constructive. The things that we do and the things that entertain us and we're entertained by, the average white person will never, ever allow their demographic to be displayed in that fashion.
Now, can I ask a question?
You just did.
Can I ask another question?
That was another
What do you think? What do you think? What do you? Can I ask you something?
You just did.
Well, what do you think that the Caucasians are doing differently that it's okay for them to play uh professional sports and it's not okay for the black to have the same opportunity to play a
Mhm.
professional sport? Like, what can the black community or Latino community do in your perspective that it's okay for them to play professional as it's okay for the white people to play professional? Like, what are they doing wrong? I feel like black people are talented. Why not? And it's entertaining.
How about
Tuli, you want to
So
take that one?
give us a definition of entertainment? Bueno, since you say, give us a definition. Look, can you look that up for us, or would you like me?
Absolutely. While I'm looking that up, go ahead and take that. That's a good question Dr. Joe put out. I like that. I like that topic.
No,
I'm gonna
that's you
search for
talk about
entertainment.
it. Go
but I
ahead.
think like I think Thule it's with me where like if it's entertainment, if they're gonna make money, why not? So I think you could do it, but they probably have to get their minds into where their minds have to be, right? So what do you think they have to do in order to play sports just like the Caucasian people do and benefit from it?
Yeah, it's like
Ooh, you asked some good questions right there. So what I'm gonna do,
black
go
people.
ahead, Tuli. Sound like you're about to say something. While you're talking to, I'm gonna go ahead and put that definition up that you asked for on the board. Go ahead, Tuli.
No, the way you said it, it's though it's only black people that are we're the only people that's doing something for entertainment. Let's see. Entertainment, the action of providing or being provided with amusement or enjoyment, an event, performance, or activity designed to entertain others, the action of receiving a guest or guest and providing them with food and drink. So what's wrong with that?
I think y'all asked a lot of wonderful questions. Y'all just threw them in all together. Was those, Dr. Joe, were your questions just something you just throwing out in general? Which one did you want us to tackle first?
Because the thing is, like, I do understand your point of view. I do. And I agree with a lot of the things you do say. But on the other hand, I feel like things shouldn't be stopped. Like, sports, if they have a talent, especially, it's like somebody is a pianist. You play the piano. So just because you're entertaining others, it does not mean you're going to stop playing the piano. And instead, I feel like there should be another side to you that there could be developing other things rather than just being a pianist. But if you're talented in this, why would you stop just because the world is like this? So what do you think people can do differently, and but it doesn't necessarily mean stop their talent or stop entertaining? Or you think they have to overall stop what they're doing?
All right, so that's the first question you want me to answer. Or is that was something you was asking for Tuli?
No, that's I would like for you to answer that question, and
Okay, no, because I'm
that's
incorporating there. We having the conversation, Tuli. You had some good
You
stuff
know,
too. Because Tuli, you asked the question also. I want to make certain that the questions are
let's do
identified so that the question can be answered.
let's do one at a time. Go ahead. I can hold mine. Go ahead. She's talking to you. Go ahead, sir.
So, that particular question right there, in general, is that somebody can do whatever they want to do that's pleasing to them. You know,
okay.
that's the answer to the question that you asked.
So okay, so what's so bad about what these athletes are doing?
I don't think it's bad. I think I'm celebrating. I'm happy that there's no
Okay,
colors playing. I'm not mad at all. I think that's a. I would like to see the same thing, same sentiment reflected in the NFL. I'd like to see the same sentiment in the NBA. So, what I want to do, Dr. Joe, is a question you asked earlier, but you asked so many questions all at the same time, back to back. I didn't want to just cut you off, and so I wanted to kind of,
I
you know,
appreciate that. I
yeah,
appreciate
hey, but that's all we doing. That's all we doing. We
that.
out here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Just let them talk. Yeah, yeah. So one of the questions that you asked that really caught my attention earlier is you said something to the degree, and this be paraphrasing. And it was something that was like, why can't the black people play professional with the white people like the white people too? Is what you said. You said something like that. Do you
Yeah,
recall that particular question?
yeah, no, yeah. That's basically what I was asking you overall. Like, what can they do differently that the white what is it that they're doing different that the white people are doing, or is it that it's just like you said? It's just a system.
It is the system, and the system is called legislative racism. When you actually look at the system and you look at the origin of how it is, basically what the legislation brought in is it was a rule that was basically established that says white is better, white is right. The white man's ice is colder. Have you ever heard of that terminology? So, Dr. Joe, what contrary to popular demand is that black people used to have everything on their own. Think about it. When black people were slaves, they actually had their own community, their own culture. They had to learn how to work together because you literally that's all you had.
Mhm.
So as a result, when quote unquote slavery was quote unquote abolished, as they say and as they believe, black people had their own thriving sports. The Negro Leagues, baseball, stuff like that. It far
Okay.
exceeded whites and altogether. As a matter of fact, they were really,
Agree.
really successful to the
Agree.
degree that legislation was actually passed because the black people, as far as their economy, they were actually booming. As a matter of fact, the reality of the matter is when you had the abolishment of slavery, what a lot of people don't know, within 10 years, those slaves had already developed and established their own cities. They had created their own politicians and already went from literally being a slave to 6 years later being the mayor, being the governor, being all these leadership positions. How do you go from a slave that can't read and dumb within 6 years all the way matriculated all the way to the head politician of your city? How do you do that?
Mm.
So what ends up happening is legislation is passed, which shows that every time black people become successful, it's always demolished and it's always destroyed and it's always programming to make you think that the white man is better. So if I go and I hit home runs, it only counts if a white man is there to tell me that it was actually a home run. If I do how many free throws, how many slam dunks, if I'm racing, it only counts that I'm the fastest man in the world if a white man is there to verify it. So as a result, it ended up becoming that even though you blacks have your own league, your league is invalid. You need to join the white man's league, and that the white man league is better. Whatever the white man have is better. So if you come and you play professional sports, you need to play. Why can't the black people play the professional sports with the white people? Because it's better. This is actually a better dynamic. And that's all over with education. It even goes on further. Why can't the white people, we need the black people, we need y'all to get educated by this whole white system because the white system is better. You know what black people want? I just want for my baby to have an education. I just want to work every day so my kids will have a future so they can go to college. Because as soon as they have an education, nobody can take that education away from them. That's all I want. Tootie, talk to me.
Yes, agreed. What was I gonna say? Oh, okay. So do you have, in order to get that, you have to provide it. So if that's not what's there, we have to use what's there. So I mean, it's their system. Okay, we have a guest. Let's see what the guest wants. Hi, welcome.
Welcome.
Hi, how are you guys?
Great. How about you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I just decided to call in. I wanted to comment really quickly.
Hey, just really quick. I want to let you know if you're doing well, I'm doing shark. I want some more laughs out there. Give me some more laughs out there, emojis in the chat room. If she is doing well, I'm doing sharp. Let's go. Go ahead, Chanel.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to call and comment because I was a athlete most of my life, right? So I played basketball probably since the third grade up until college. And one thing to add to I just want to call in to add to your comment. I think the only problem is the only difference. Like I understand what the Love Doctor was saying about systems and everything like that with sports, but I think that the only problem between black athletes and white athletes is actually a mindset. That's the only difference. I don't think that it'll be necessarily bad for people of color to continue to play in professional sports if they had a different mindset. And I say that because I had the opportunity to play with all different races, and in college I played at a majority white high school. And the major difference is it's just when I was playing back then, like if I were to go back now with the same mindset that I had in college, I would be darn near unstoppable. There'd be nothing. I would have came out with money. But the thing is, when I was going in, it was just like I was instilled a different mindset. Like you have to work hard. You have to do this. You have to do that. Like you have to work harder than the rest. Like if you break your leg, break your arm, it don't matter. I'm the best. Like that is the type of mindset. Whereas I had actual teammates who treated the sport as it should be. This is a means of income. This is a means for me to pay for my schooling. This is a means for me to maybe go play professional basketball. I had a teammate that was darn near rich. I'm gonna say rich, quote unquote, but she had a substantial savings when we left college because she just had a different mindset. And I think for people of color, unfortunately, we aren't giving them that mindset. I literally had an experience with a white coworker. We were going somewhere, and that we weren't supposed to be. And I'm like, me, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't be doing all that stuff. Like, but she was just like, no, just act like you're supposed to be here, and no one will say anything to you. Like they literally, I'm like, what? She's like, I do it all the time. Just act like you're supposed to be here. And of course, she's white, so that's not something I would practice. But just that mindset for them to have like, okay, I'm in this particular sport for a reason, or like I have a certain mindset that no one is going to tell me how I'm going to do what I want to do. I think that is the difference. And so I think if we teach our people, if they want to do something like sports, you need to go in and know how to save your money, where to invest your money. This is my body, so I ain't about to break my body and break all my bones just to get this win. I'm still going to get paid, or how to operate and work contracts. Like I think that is the major difference between people of color and then white people, that once you get to a certain level, in my opinion, from my experience.
Quick question: how did she make money while you were in college? If you know.
My coworker, her family actually owned a business, so she did that. And then I know that she did something, how like her student loans or something like that, or like how her scholarship was arranged.
Oh,
So it was that, and she was just very frugal. Like, for instance, something as simple as when you go to college. When I got my refund check, oh baby, I was spending. Like I was like, oh, I'm getting this,
Me
I'm
too.
getting this, and getting that. And so, but my teammates, or some of my teammates, were like, Chanel, no, we need to save. I'm like, what are you saving for? She's like, well, you have to, like, and they'll break it down. I'm like, listen, I ain't old, I ain't grown, like, I'm not doing all that. But she's actually very financially stable now. The times I do talk to her now, I just think it's a different type of mind. It's just a different type of mindset in all. Like I'm sure her parents taught her that, and her parents' parents. It doesn't make people
right.
of color parents, dumb, or not that they don't want to prepare their kids, but I think it's just the level of, like, it's ignorance in effect. Like they're only teaching from what they were being taught. And I think that if we're going to stay in the system, then we need to be better educated by the system until we can get out of the system. Like I understand we need to get out of it, but that's not our current situation. So I think until we can change our situation, we just need to be smarter about how we operate within it. And so I think that goes with everything, including sports.
Facts.
So
But that was going to be my next question. Why do you think there's two different mindset? And you say it's parents prepping the children versus, in the Black community, the parents are not prepping the children, and not because they don't want to, but because circumstances. So solution
Yeah.
would be, you would say, maybe what are some solutions you would give for that mindset to
um
change?
I think, one, for those who are within our community who has the knowledge, to find a way to give it out in the most effective way possible. Also, I think for people of color to be aware of resources. It breaks off a little bit. Like I worked in social services for a while, and you will be amazed of how many services are available in our areas that we don't take
Mhm.
part in because they don't know. So I think for parents to be involved and how you and be aware that things are available, and then go seek them. And I think once we start seeking things will become readily available. Like I worked in predominantly white schools, and you didn't have to seek nothing. You can go to the front office and ask a simple question, or not ask anything. You have things posted, you have
Very
things available, you get emails, you get all this stuff just handed to you, which you don't have to seek it. But that's because, I mean, I think it's because of a lot of reasons. But regardless of the reasons, I don't think that should deter us for being able, we can get the same thing. It's just that I think once we make that stance, once we say this is what we want, and once we demand it and seek it, then people will be actually more likely to give it to us more readily available. But I think it starts with us, and unfortunately, because the system is set up the way it is, we have to do that. But I think if we start somewhere, we won't have to do that for forever while we're in this system. That makes sense.
exactly.
Facts.
Yeah,
That makes a lot of sense. I
gotcha.
definitely appreciate you for calling in, Carla. You're making a lot of good points. You definitely are challenging people out there to think and all that stuff.
and we have some more people that are actually waiting to join the line in the chat room and things like that. So we definitely want to start bringing them on and things of that nature. But I will ask you this, so I will want to just add a little bit more, interject a little bit more. Some things that you asked about was something along the lines of education and really people providing, more information. I think some of the basis of where we can actually start is, I'm just curious. I want to ask this question to the panel. What do you feel like? What are some of the most valuable things that a child should learn?
Bears.
What?
No answers? Nobody?
Oh, you talking to the guests? You talking to the guests?
I didn't know you were talking
Yeah,
to
I was
me.
asking that question to the panel. Yeah, the whole panel.
Oh, they're the panel. So since they're the panel,
Well,
I'm going to leave you guys.
The whole panel. Yeah. Go ahead, guess. You start. Guess, Chanel. Go ahead.
Oh, I think it's a lot of important things they should learn. I don't know.
Give me three of them. Come on, give me the top three most important things. Come on, top three.
To be financially independent, to be able to be self-sufficient, and to take care, to learn your role, whether it's you have a male son or a female daughter or whatever, to learn your role. Yeah, not necessarily. Yeah, your gender and like your
all right,
personal
so we
responsibility
got
role.
Self-sufficient and gender roles. Come on, next. Tula, you up next. Come on, top three most important things. What you got?
Okay. I'm gonna give let's see. The importance of having integrity. That's very important to me.
So character, what else we got, Tula?
I said integrity. I said how to be responsible and how to respect others.
All right, so we got integrity, we got responsibility, and we got respect with Tula. Next person on deck we got is Resident Joe. Go for it, Resident Joe. What's the top three most important things a kid should learn?
Top is respect for me, then values, and then how to prioritize. Prioritizing in life is very important. They should know what's important in their lives.
Bam. So we got respect, values, and prioritizing things. That's Dr. Joe. All right, so really quick. We got three women's perspective, and I'm gonna run it back real quick. We got Chanel, who says that the three most important things should be finance, how to be self-sufficient, and the gender roles, how to function as a male or how to function as a woman. Next thing we have Tuli, the top three: integrity, responsibility, and respect. Dr. Joe, we have respect, values, and prioritization. Let's talk about it from a man's perspective. The top three most important things from a man perspective is for a child to learn is how to get food, how to get shelter, how to get clothing. Those are the three most important things in life right there. And if I had to do a number four, I'd say it'd be health. So we got food, shelter, clothing, and health. But I'll ask for the top three. So my top three is going to be food, shelter, and health. That is the most valuable things in life that everyone should know how to do that. And that's something that white folks actually capitalize on, because at the end of the day, white people, they are masterminds when it comes to being able to provide shelter, being able to provide food, and being able to provide all different types of clothing. They mastered that. As a matter of fact, us as black people, we're at a deficit because we cannot provide food without first going to someone who is white. We cannot provide ourselves with shelter without first asking permission from someone who is white. The last thing, clothing. We cannot manufacture our own clothing. We must always go to someone who is white. So what I think is really valuable for all kids, what they really need to understand is they need to understand how can they begin to establish and get their own food, their own shelter, and their own clothing. Talk to me, y'all. We live here. Two mics at a mind. Everybody hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that cash up. Go ahead, talk to me, Dr. Joe.
You know what I find so interesting? You see, I think it's perfect that you have a different perspective, and as females have a different perspective, and that's why we need the father and the mother in the home, because we need that perspective of the female, which was very important. Respect, values, everything that was said by the female panel, it's very important, and our guests. And then it's also what you said is important, but you have a different mentality as a male, and that's why I feel like it's so important to have that father and that mother in the house, because we need that combination of thoughts. You know, it's just important.
Now we skipped Tony. Don't know why. Wayne thought he was the only one on
No,
here.
no, Tony just dropped. I don't know. Tony was up there. Tony just dropped.
You probably left from wedding because you talked and you said we got mail, but you were the only male, but you weren't the only male on here. So I don't know what happened. He made
I
probably
don't know what Tony.
That's
phone
what I
dropped.
thought. I was like, wait, what about
I don't understand.
Tony? Come back.
And it's just he probably won't come back. I don't know. But anyway.
Well, guys, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
All right.
I'm gonna get out and I'll continue listening.
Yes.
Love the show.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
So now we're fatherless. Both of the males left us. There goes Tony.
Tony, you have a perspective, sir? Tony? Hello?
Maybe.
Is Tony having technical difficulties?
Hello.
Good afternoon, Carol.
All right, I can hear Tony
Good
now.
afternoon.
Go ahead, Tony.
That's Confederate, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah, that was me, but nevertheless, good afternoon, everyone. We got Ross Smith. I see his name in the caption below. We don't have any sound from him, but in the meantime, I'd like to give everyone their salutation. Miss Tooley, how are you tonight, ma'am?
Mm-hmm.
Love Doctor, how are you, sir? Resident Joe, Dr. Joe, how are you tonight, ma'am?
Very well. How are you?
Can you guys hear me pretty good?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Okay. But well, you were saying the three top, I guess, categories when it comes to what was it, raising children? Hello?
Yeah.
Was that if I could comment on that, mine would probably be a little bit different, not much different than you three. I would definitely include everyone's comment, but I would probably say the first, for the lack of a better term, our spirituality, culture, learning our culture, and how to defend those things. And I think that would encapsulate how we keep what we obtain through our culture aspect. Because a lot of times, I believe that if we don't, because we don't know our culture, we don't know, our spirituality in the sense of the people that we are. We adapt cultures. We adapt the culture of other people, and it doesn't necessarily work for us. So I believe if we understood our history, then we can understand our culture and our spirituality, and then we defend those elements. Therefore, we can become productive in a society in which we have a deficit, as the love doctor had stated earlier. So those would probably be my three categories that I would say that I would kind of teach my children, or a child for that matter.
do you mind repeating those three really quick?
Yes, sir. It would be what they would call your spirituality, as far as religion, or your history, culture / culture, and how to defend it.
I think we just had Tony join back again.
I think he's trying
Tony, can you hear us?
I can see a silhouette of sorts, but I can't really see him. But if I could, love doctor, you were talking about in the sports, about something about sports. What's the difference between white athletes and black athletes? And entertainment. Okay, entertainment. I don't see anything wrong with entertaining,
But I believe just for the so-called Negro in this time and age, I don't believe that entertainment should be a top priority for us because we're so far behind. I believe that we should emphasize and focus more on educating our people as to what's our purpose in the whole ecosystem of humanity. Because unfortunately, we are still indigenous servants to every other race. You know, um, and it's just it's saddening to know
Mm-hmm.
that. Um, and love doctor, you did say you can hear me pretty good, though, right?
Yes, sir. I can't hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you entertain myself as well as the panel and our guests with something that I feel as though is a good speaking point on tonight? Could you look up the third stanza of the Star Spangled Banner and play that for us, sir, if you would?
Give me a moment to do my research.
Okay. But I'm quite sure. How you doing, Ra'a? Can you hear us?
I'm making it, my friend. How you doing?
All
Just
right.
home.
Yeah, I seen you on your commute home. A good evening, sir.
It's rough. How you doing? Coming along all right?
Yes, sir, I am. Yeah, here's a little question I had wanted to ask you real quick too. I kind of felt as though I did something. Um, I think I kind of transgressed in a sense. I had reached out to you on your birthday, which we know your birthday was Shabbat, and
Yeah.
I did it without actually thinking, and then I just want to ask you, you know, I believe I was in transgression in a sense, but sir,
Why you think you transgressing?
because of the token of my appreciation that I want to share with you. I in the means that I expressed it with you on your
No,
on
no.
your okay.
It is,
I just all right.
I,
Thank you. I feel better about that now. I really do.
I, what you did. Listen, I appreciate what everybody's done. Those that have, those that didn't, I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate you thinking about me.
Yes, sir. There we
Yeah.
are.
So,
Could you share that? Um, like I still said a lot. The so-called Negro don't have a brain in his head. And do you see that last? The third stanza part of it, which would be the third verse, right here. Stop right there. And right here. And where is the band who so valiantly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country should leave us no more? Their blood was washed out of their fouls footstep pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and what? Guess what? Enslaved from the terror or gloom of the grave. And the Star Spangled Banner in triumph do wave over a land of the free and the home of the brave. That just told us that the so-called Negro was a coward,
Ooh.
and now they demand the so-called Negro to recite this as they entertain. I find it appalling. I find it I find it to be insulting to even asking us to even acknowledge something to that effect. What a known slave owner by the name of Scott Key had
Mm-hmm.
penned this, being a poet and a slave owner back in 1812. So, for me to entertain anyone, it wouldn't so much be something that I would want to do unless I entertain my own, and not someone that even like Ra Smith said, someone that even respects or acknowledges someone that subscribes to some type of something to this magnitude. I have no respect for the person. I wouldn't want to hold a conversation with them. Furthermore, I would consider them as being my enemy. So I had wanted to share that tonight because I found that very, very troubling.
Wow. Yeah, I
Appreciate you
didn't
for
see
sharing
that.
that. Appreciate you for sharing that information. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
You're muted.
I'm muted.
His
No, Tom.
microphone,
No,
Tony's microphone is on
Tony
mute.
was.
No, we definitely need to be aware, more cognizant of what's going on around us, and the whole synopsis of why these people write certain, you know, musical, whatever they want to call it, that they put together, and how detrimental a lot of it is, and yet we stand and we pledge to it and we give ourselves to it.
Yeah.
Where I want to mention this. Well, we got a quick second. Um, it's time for us to do something different. I am for the liberation, the freedom of our people. Um, if for whatever reason it is, it's hard to get our people to agree, to come to a consensus on us breaking away from them and establishing our own. The Ukrainians did it from the Russians. Um, Taiwan did it from China. And so on in other countries. Our people broke away when we was in Mizraim. It's just trying to realize you could be somewhere just too long. We sat there for over 400 years, and then we're 400 years enough. We wore our welcome. I don't know why people are so afraid to take the giant leap of independence, self-sufficiency, and regaining our self-respect. We don't have any. That's why you can treat a people the way you treat us, and we're not a nation. But in order to become a nation, we gotta come together and come to a consensus agreement to where what makes sense for everybody, as a majority, and in order to further our existence. Because right now we're here, but we don't exist because we don't have any control. The only time we'll have control is to come out and tear up something for a little bit. Then they'll want to kind of talk to us a little bit. They'll kind of recognize it. Then it's back to business as usual. I'm working on some things that I think we're gonna have to do we're gonna take a different approach. To not participate in working. I don't know what it takes for our people. I really don't know. I'm afraid for our people. Nothing's getting done. We've accomplished nothing. But our people, still believing, it's hope and a chance in doing. I don't know. Confederate State 48, I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Our people and what
Yeah,
they
that
want. I can't get men to come together to say, let's be men, Can't get women to stand up and say, you need to respect. I don't know. Let's save our children. I can't get that. If it was, let's molest the kids, let's beat the women, let's kill the men, everybody's on board. I'm afraid for our people. I don't know. I don't know. I know what to do. I just don't know how to get my people to get conscious and come to an agreement and say, it's time. That's scary.
Ross,
Mm-hmm.
real quick, one thing what you just said, and I'm still kind of behooved and bewildered of the level of knowledge and understanding that you have. It's not by coincidence. We do know that you serve in the Most High, Yahuwah, Elohim, that we know that's where it comes from. But something that you always stress about, these people are always changing the rules of the game. They're always changing the definition of things. So to actually define the man, the definition of a man has changed over the generations that you and I and the rest of the panel have grown up. Sure, the definition of a child has changed. The definition of a woman has changed. The definition of certain things that we call essential to the livelihood of mankind has changed. And then something that I found also troubling too was that when Lord Doctor put up that third stanza of the Star Spangled Banner, they still have us hedged in because they have three other national anthems to go along with that. So when you dismiss one, you have three others that you have to address. My country, tis of thee. What's the other one? The Star Spangled Banner, my country, tis of thee. Help me out, guys.
God bless America. No.
God bless America, and I don't forget what the fourth one was. But like the Lord Doctor said, legislative racism plays a major, because they mandated this stuff. They mandated it, and so how do you escape it? It's almost criminal, and it's going to become criminal if they have their way with this electoral college, which was created by the Romans and Pippin the Short, Charlemagne, and all these guys. But they're just heading us in, and they're making our real estate even smaller and smaller. As well, I had told a while back, he was talking about Abraham. He walked the breadth, the length of things. He told them, no, you guys have to go around because we know you're going to take over and things like that. So they're trying to make us become claustrophobic in terms of where we can actually have a place to live. And you talked last week about being criminal collecting rainwater. So, I mean,
Yeah,
like you said,
crazy.
where do we go from here? And that's why I say one of the three things in which I would promote for children is to learn your culture, your history, and to learn how to defend it. Because think about this real quick, and I'll shut up. Well, Smith, you remember you were talking about when Yahuwah told Yasharal not to make a league with these people, and it's very ironic that you have a national football league, you have a national baseball league, you have a national hockey league, you have all of these leagues, and this was written in Shakespearean English, and the word league is what it is, and yet still we still join these leagues as far as entertainment. You have the Writers Guild League, what is it, the Actors Guild League? What I know you know about it, Miss Tulin. You should know about it too as well, love doctor. So all these leagues, but we were specifically told, even in the Shakespearean dialect, not to join these leagues from the Most High. So then, where do we go? We create our own, like Ross Smith said, and that hey, we just have to, like you said, segregation and Jim Crow and the slavery was the best thing that ever happened to the so-called Negro because we had to depend on one another, and we actually knew who our enemy was. Our enemy wasn't someone that wore a suit and just pat us on the back and at the same time stabbed us. So now our enemy is now a covert enemy, someone that we can't really identify because he's not holding a whip anymore. He's holding a piece. He's holding the mortgage on homes. He's holding, he's holding the deeds to the broadcasting networks. He's holding, the medicine. He's holding, all the things in which it takes for humanity to thrive on. He holds the deeds to all these things. And so, like what our Smith said, until we begin to start to create our own, we're still going to be in this dilemma that we're in right now. So, I think that's all I have for tonight. Other than you guys look up the Double V campaign when it talks about what we did back in World War II when all the so-called people of color they joined a coalition and said we weren't going to take we were going to stand for equality and that we were not going to be ostracized like we were prior to joining their armed forces. So it's called the Double V campaign, and I think we need to probably have some type of resurrection of that, of sorts, to begin to
Are you
start to.
Are you
Ma'am,
saying B as in boy, B as in victory?
V as in victory, and actually that's what it's called, the Double V campaign, victory campaign. And I believe that we should have a resurrection of sorts to, use our Second Amendment rights, use our rights that they say that we have, which we know that's not a part of the Constitution, but to challenge them on that, and start saying that, hey, we won't stand for it anymore, and be willing to defend it. Unfortunately, some of us have to die for it, and I believe we'll die for everything else, but we won't die for our freedom. We won't die for our liberation, but we'll die for a pair of sneakers. We'll die for somebody calling us out of our name, but we won't die for our freedom and our dignity and self-respect.
Unfortunately, that's the truth.
That is so true.
What would be great? We got a lot of good listeners, followers, as well as those that listen to us when I teach. I'm just so thrown and blown away with the fact that there's like no response whatsoever from our people, and trying to get resolved. And it's so dangerous that we're okay with where we're at today and where the world is going, from the mass drive of homosexual agenda, the drive of the destruction of our people. They run to us now saying, come out, vote, come out, support. This group wants to take this group wants to take this group wants to lie to you. When all these people are the same groups, we've all been lied to. We play every part of support when it comes down to politicians and politics, and we've gotten nowhere. And now I would love to get my people and just talk with people in general, but especially my people, get them to a consensus. Like I talk with our young people now how to greet one another, go to each other, give that respect to your akuth. Start putting more positive energy out there, and that's what we need to do, is get more positive about our situation, because we talk about it every week, but at some point something has to change. And it's scary. I mean, I got, even my own brothers, I'll be honest with you, even, my son, I watch the faces of people that just don't have the drive. It ain't everyone, just people don't have the drive. They don't care. It don't matter. That's the way it is. So what? Just shut up and let's just keep going. Give me empty promises about something, and I'll believe a lie and I'll be comfortable with it. Sisters as well. That's just everybody. It's not limited to just people outside. I have people that, surround me, and that's, you can see just the drive of them. It's not there. People don't care what they did to us. This is worse than anything they ever did to slavery. It's just no motivation. It's just no drive. There's no caring. It's no cause. They don't see a reason. People don't want anything. I'm just blown away. I'm like, it's like detach me from everything, cut me off from everything. I don't even want to be bothered, because I'm a person. I'm an energy. I'm passionate about what I believe and what I do. I'm pretty forthcoming on how I feel about people, or how I feel about issues. That's just where I'm at, and I keep that line. And I just say I'm just not used to this new system. It's killing me. I know it's gonna cost me my life. And some would love to see me dead, even my own people. It's unfortunate, but I don't know. I'm just thrown. I just never seen the world going this way. I just, like I said, if it was, fight to get in a concert, my people be ready. If it was fight to get in the store in a line, to get Black Friday, my people will be ready. But instead of a fight for your future, save your home, regain your dignity, you know what I'm saying? Get your religions, your foundation back. I don't know. It's throwing me. I hadn't quit. I just don't know what I don't know what it takes to make them do anything. It's scary, and it's gonna get worse.
You know what? One thing the love doctor had mentioned a while back, he said something that was very, very, very profound when he talked about our counterparts. Our counterparts have a surplus they operate out of. They have a surplus of resources. And the thing about it, with the so-called Negro, we're depleted. We're depleted. First and foremost, we're depleted morally. Our morals are depleted, because even with morals, you can build off of that. But when you're depleted morally, when you don't have anything, no motivation in the tank, and your motivation, you're bankrupt motivational wise, you have nothing to fight with, and you sit back and you accept everything. But our counterparts have drive. And that's why they're winning the so-called game of life, because they actually have a drive.
Yeah, how you doing there? I appreciate you, that Confederate 48. Really quick, it look like we got somebody else named Chris. Chris, did you have any commentary you want to share really quick? I want to make sure you got audio, then we'll come right back to Confederate 48. Just hold on to that thought. I know you're saying something really good. I just wanted to get Chris. I seen his phone was acting up, but he finally got it back on. Welcome to the show, Chris. How you doing, buddy?
How y'all doing? I was just observing and listening and just paying attention. I didn't want to really speak too much. I just wanted to listen to see what I was talking about. I didn't want to be trying to come up with what I was saying. before I listened to basically what everybody was talking about. I was just observing. But the
All right.
same, basically some of the same stuff I agree on. I have more than three, basically principles of different things. I say self confidence is one. I think that will go along with your spiritual beliefs and your as well as like belief in yourself and confidence in yourself, and also with the sense like you said, how to defend yourself and defend what you believe and things of that nature, and also how to provide for yourself and how to learn many different skills. So you can be self sufficient and you got to be on your own. So you won't really have to depend on too many different people. You could be self sufficient within yourself, and you can understand different things about yourself. The more you learn, the better you could be for other people. The more you establish yourself and bring yourself up, you could be a benefit to other people. So it's not so much as looking outside. I mean, it's like looking internally and seeing where you at and learning from your mistakes and just paying attention to yourself, your intuition. But a lot of stuff what you said on the news and stuff and like that, and as far as acting and as far as like doing stuff to amuse people, I feel like Pac talked on that a long time ago. Malcolm X talked on that a long time ago. Farrakhan, everybody talked on that. Meaning, it's good to entertain, but you need industries as well so you can provide for your people. So even Raha talked on that a while ago, where you can make transactions and do business within your community and with the other people. So you will be in the industry field even more. So it just depends. So it just depends on what people want to do and where they're at. So I don't think it's bad for you to be an entertainer to a degree if they're so passionate. I think you should go after what you're passionate about. But I was just observing as far as like the first angle banner and all of that. I never knew it said that. So just Confederate 48, he just gave me some insightful information on that. So I was just pretty much observing and just sitting back just observing everything. That's how I've been doing for the past couple of days. But I appreciate the information. I'll let y'all finish.
Hey, appreciate you for calling in. Thanks for joining the show, Chris. We're gonna put you back in the queue. If you want to have any additional commentary, just put your finger up and flag it, and I will know. Thanks again. Confederate 48, man.
Good to
Appreciate
see you,
that
sir.
script that you were showing about the stands or whatever. Go ahead and pick up where you left off with your commentary.
Yeah, and so like you were saying, love doctor, you know, the surplus, even though by the means in which they obtain what they have, they still possess it. Ross Smith said one thing a while back. They came to our homeland with Bibles in our hands. We had the resources. We gave up the resources. Now we got the Bibles and they got the resources. You know, but we still can utilize what they gave us. You know, as in terms of the Bibles, we just got to take back our resources because we have, like you said, we have the information to do it. We just like the motivation. It's not that we don't, and it's not like we're not educated enough to do it because you just mentioned that we had slaves that didn't know how to read and write. And 6 years later, they're becoming prominent figures in the communities in which they live. So we do have the capability of doing it. I believe the drive and the motivation is not there. You know, and I'm just thankful that we have just a remnant of people such as yourself, Ra Smith, Miss Tool, and the Love, and Resident Joe, Two Minds and a Mic, and this platform, you know, is just the beginning, you know, and this something is this is something to build on, you know, something to build on, and it's not just a chat room. It's dealing with real life issues, and it has a direction. It's not a shot in the dark, so to speak. There's a target, and the thing about it is, you know, anything I heard, anything more than one head is a monster. We have a head, and I believe the head is the second cube in this panel, which is Raw Smith. And you know, and people say what they want to say, talk about you know, that they're targeting this man, you know, and we know it, but we know that the Most High with him, and I can only speak for myself. It wouldn't happen on my watch, you know, have that same mindset. You know, we willing to die for just the stupidest thing, but who's willing to defend? I recall a situation when Yasharal had stood up for Dawood and said, we're not gonna let the light go out of Yasharal. They were talking about we're gonna defend Dawood at all costs because he was the figurehead of Yasharal at the time. He was the Malak. And you know, Robert Smith, his contributions, not only just in a Ruach sense, spiritual sense, he does it in all facets of life. You know, I've never been to his establishment, one of his establishments in Carlisle. He asked people, what are you trying to do? And I think he asked that question not to be nosy, but to actually see, how can I be of service? How can I help? And not just to make a buck like you can't afford this vehicle, why would I sell it to you? Because I'm not trying to get over on you. And see, those are the things which Miss Tooley was saying, which one of her things was integrity is very, very important. And if a person doesn't have integrity, hey, where can they go? You know, these people don't have integrity. We see it. But our integrity needs to be backed with something, with action.
I agree.
Our integrity has to be backed with action.
Mm-hmm. We
can't just keep putting duct tape on our mouth, buying magic markers and construction paper and abide by these curfews when we can peaceful protest and everything. Nothing that these people ever got was through people. You know, and so why do we think we're gonna obtain anything that way?
Exactly. That's what you train your enemies. You train your enemies to be passive while you be aggressive. And that's the same thing. You think about when a rapist attacks a woman. You know, I've never been one, but I mean, it's not hard to imagine. The first thing you try to do is you want the woman to keep calm and stop screaming, quit moving, while you continue to advance yourself on them. You know, whether try to penetrate, to rip a clothes, and now you attack a person, you are the aggressor, and you tell them to be quiet. You are the person ripping off the clothes that's trying to penetrate, and you tell them to be still and stop moving. And this is what America has done us the entire time we've been here. And when we say something, of course, as the attacker would, you strike the victim. And you let the victim know, if you stop moving, if you quit screaming and hollering, I won't hurt you. I mean, I don't know how we got here. I'm so tired. When I tell you I'm tired, I'm burned. They beat me. I mean, they won. It's like I'm so blown away with just where our people mindset is. I see Chris that I appreciate what he was saying as well. But my goal is, and I do a lot of talking to our young people, you know, Son of God, trying to, you know, really encourage them to think and be a different generation than the generation we have now that's behind me. Because I'm so fearful of our, just totally being obliviated, just wiped off this place. You know, we're practically back into slavery. We don't have a voice. Kanye West has proved that. 3 billion to 7.23 billion. And these people show how they can shut your entire life down and cut you off if you say anything against them. And it's scary that we can't voice our opinion about anybody without us hating an entire race. And they always want to associate our dislike for their terrible rule as you want to kill everybody. I don't know how that comes up. You know, he said DEFCON 3. That's a threat. They said all the time. I mean, they don't say it, they actually do it. And yet they still have to be respected. You still can't assume something, although all of the actions show DEFCON 3, 4, and 5 on us. But when he says it, everyone knows, nobody. I'm not a fan of Kanye West. I don't listen to Kanye West. I don't agree with his opinions on things, but I agree with his right to express his opinion freely, especially in the industry that he's in, and he deals with these people every day. So he's only telling what he sees and deals with every day. But whenever we say something, we're automatically ostracized. You know, I was put off television. A part of it, Creflo Dollar, Eddie Long. A lot of these people all came together and they were behind me being put off television. I've been, shadow blocked on YouTube. My views, might be a couple of hundred, maybe 1,500. You know, they pretty much pushed it to them non-existent. You know, of course, now being played as radical. Hadn't killed any white people, white kids, hadn't raped them, hadn't beat them up or fought them, hadn't pulled a gun on them yet. I'm radical, destructive, whatever they want to try to convince people. See, he left Jesus. I left slavery. That's right. free our people and get our people to think freely. One way they beat us is they give us their laws attached with their religion. That's how they conquer these islands. Once they manipulate you through friendship, then they learn how to overthrow you and find your weaknesses. And by doing it the same way that Delilah did Shamshun, once we find out where your strength at, you're good as dead. You're bringing your boys, because, they're part of that system, just like she was. She looked at for her people and their system. That's how she gave them over. They give you their fears. So any fight back, you're always afraid that it's attached to your religion. If you fight them back, what's going to happen? You're going to go to hell. You can't be forgiven. God doesn't love violence. God doesn't love hate. You have to love. But the people that beat you, raped you, took your country, massacred and burned your home down, and raped your mother and your sisters and your grandmother, hated you. They murdered you. They took from you, and yet they can still be saved. If you have any form of hate, if you fight back, you are automatically the devil, Satan, and you're going to hell. That's how they beat us. They manipulate us through religion. When you were asking earlier, and I heard Chris say, which is so true, when you asking the three most important things for a child, the only thing a child needs is their spirituality. If you give them those bases, that plants the gateway for everything. It's my spirituality that makes me voiceful. It's my spirituality that makes me resourceful. It's my spirituality, that makes me not chow down and bow down. So spirituality gives us our survival. It gives us we just need to know what's the rules. Give me the tools and then give me the real rules. The tools, when you give me my spirit, when I regain my spirituality, which gave me my consciousness, it allowed me to flourish, and I can't be stopped. I can't be silenced. I can't be bought out. I can't chow down because there are things that my religious belief foundation just don't concur with. You know what I'm saying? Don't agree with it. It's like bad food in a belly. Either I'm going to defecate it out quickly or I'm going to vomit it. It's not going to stay.
Wow.
That's what we
when they signed, when they did the Bill of Rights, I was looking at a segment, right? And this is very interesting. And I'm so fond of the legislative racism, not theory, facts of legislative racism. And that's something that when you coined that's just like a part of my repertoire, my vocabulary, my education in terms of how we're being treated in this country. So a not so fun fact is when they signed the Bill of Rights and they signed the Declaration of Independence, I did not know the 13 colonies that was originated that they signed the 13 signatures. All those people went on to become president.
Really?
Wow.
So let me get this straight. So these were landowners now, remember, because it said all men are created equal, right?
Right.
They were talking about landowners. They were talking about landowners. They said, we the people, right? How they say God created all men equal with certain unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It was for landowners and everything that was on the land, which were in turn slaves, cattle, everything that was on the land. And these people went on to become president. And that's what the Constitution was structured upon landowners. It was a conflict between landowners. It had nothing to do with the nation because you have to remember the United States was not a nation at the time. It was colony. It wasn't even a nation. So the legislative racism goes all the way back to 13 pieces of colonized land that became states. That North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida was all one state.
Somebody has something in the background.
Yeah, let me say this before I go. 4 things. Hit that like button. Hit that cash out, and last but not least, hit that share. This is Confederate.
Man, I appreciate it, man.
Man, we appreciate you hanging out with us, though. You staying there with us. We appreciate you too. Hope you're doing well.
Absolutely.
And on another note, Did you get a
Just
chance to check out the information I sent you about the?
I did. So I got to just get in touch with the practice in order to get the patches.
No, you can get with us. I got a picture.
Oh, you have?
Yeah,
Because you know what I know?
Mm-hmm.
Because you had one on the back of your neck right there, didn't you,
Those the one I have on the back of my neck, I have behind my ear. Those for my blood pressure and other things
Okay.
under my feet, out of my ear. I'm currently now tooling out another program. Big Cookie. We're on a program we just started on now, doing just detoxifying the body, doing some other things. And want to, see how things really roll and want our people to become conscious of these things. It's time because, one thing too that'll help us becoming more conscious is our health. One thing they make sure of to keep us from being conscious. Once you burn a person down with debt, responsibility to a nation and not to themselves and a nation that they're not actually a part of, and then you start to attack the health, then you take the fight away from them. We got to get our people to say, let's clean up our diets. So we can clean up our thought patterns. That way we can get our frequencies on so we can communicate with the Most High. And these people have done so much damage to us, whether people knowing it or unknowingly or not. We need to become conscious of it. People say, oh, it's one of them black live groups. No, it's time for us to speak to ourselves intelligently. So we can be able to group with other nationalities and all work as people together, but we all understand who we are as a nation. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and we have a lot that happens and that's happening to us now on a daily basis, by the hour, by the second. And we have to get our people to clean up the diet, to clean up our health, and stop letting this man keep putting a blade to us when it's not necessary every time, or radiation. Radiation, when it goes in, it doesn't just kill bad, it kills good as well. If the body's strong enough, it can rebuild. Sir?
No, I said I can testify to that. That radiation done a number on me, and I just went to the doctor today and lost 7 more pounds. So my weight is on the decline. I'm trying to do something to supplement it to gain my weight back. I don't know what's going on with that. So I do need to get with you about
definitely. I help out. We'll get them. I know Derek is on here too from South Carolina. We got the patches for the pain. Just it's a lot of different tooling now, gotten ourselves into this market of trying to help out because we have a lot of members and other people, family members, my mom. So stuff I'm telling you, this stuff we use, we ourselves, we actually use it. And it's been a help, I've been doing better, drop some of my weight, changing my eating on some things, getting rid of his gluten, a lot of other things that we found out that's been real detrimental to us. So we can get a clear mind to think. We need a clear mind. We can attack on every end. They attack us on our health through our grocery, through our water. Just like they did Yahushua, they poisoned him in his drink. We got to clean a lot of this stuff up, the toxin, the metals, and all these things have your body haywire. It don't matter what you're doing, exercise, what you're taking. If you can't detoxify the body and get a lot of these things out, what are you putting in? It's going to be futile. It's not going to work because you're still ingesting too many other poisons. We're trying to get out. I want to just throw another note out. I want to try to get a link to get on here for people. We need to start getting these patches to go on these cell phones. 5G is doing a number on a lot of us. I got a member. He's just about, we about to call him aluminum foil man. He get around 4-5G. That man start popping around like one of the Mexican jumping beans. So get everybody on the. That's something I'm giving people real information you need to look into doing. We try to get y'all connect because these phones are dangerous. We keep them in our pockets, on our sides, in our top, inside our pockets, near our chest. And this 5G is cooking. For men, it's bad in your pocket because it's cooking semen, especially for young brothers who hadn't even begun to even try to procreate. They're doing a number on us every which way but loose, and we got to get conscious of it. These people look like they're helping us; they're hurting us.
I believe some of the foods, and you probably can testify to this, Ms. too, that I believe some of the foods that they're giving us is causing early stages of dementia. Because I was reading an article about the dementia age has dropped, I believe, 10 years. They're saying people as early as their 30s are showing signs of dementia, and I believe it's affected the so-called Negro even more so because we're the ones that can't seem to remember retaining the information, how to stick together, how to help one another. So I believe that we're really the poster children of dementia when it comes to losing those cognitive skills about being able to record things and to retain information, because it seems like, how can you forget how people have treated you over history and you still want to love them and hug them and be around them and support them and do this and to do that? We gotta be suffering some type of dementia. So I believe some of the foods, like you just stated, that's affecting
Absolutely.
us, health wise. So
Absolutely. All that processed food. And people don't know this, but margarine is connected to dementia. It's very
Really?
did
margarine.
not know that.
You know what? Let me ask you this. I'm curious about margarine. Is that margarine are the same or similar ingredients also in that? You know, they have the margarine substitutes.
What do you
Like the I
mean?
can't believe it's not butter. The other types of substitutes right there located next to the margarine. You know what I'm talking about?
Like country crock and that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
They're horrible.
Wow, I got to get rid of that stuff.
Margarine. Yep. Yep. You know, a lot of fried foods, processed foods, soda. You know, things like that. But yeah, margarine. Look that up.
Miss Tooley, if I
Yep.
may, could you define what you would consider processed food? What would fall under the umbrella of processed food?
Anything that's not in its original form. So just say
Okay.
that you got sandwich meat, you know,
Okay. Right.
um
Like luncheon meat, like that.
like turkey, and it's been processed, as opposed to
Okay.
having a turkey and slicing it and using the pieces from the turkey, the actual turkey. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? Anything that's not in its original state, to me.
I see. Okay. Nephew E, how you doing, sir?
What's going on, brother? Confederate State 48. How you doing, my man?
Yeah. Big
Brother.
Blue, what up, man?
What's up, panel? What's up, family?
See you
How
good.
y'all doing? No
We
doubt.
making it.
Yes, sir. We got to. We gonna make it. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna let them take us down. First of all, like say hello to everybody.
Hey,
And
Greetings.
how y'all doing? Yes, sir. I'm gonna tell Ain't Two to go Astros. Once again.
actually,
Y'all on your way.
We're on our way.
You don't like that.
I know it. You know, the Braves we'll get them back though.
yeah.
The Braves done. They're Atlanta team. We get a fluke every now and then. Then after
Every-
that, you step for another 20 years.
Just hello to everybody. To a great family. Like I say, it's Thursday. I'm just getting in, so just getting in. I gotta come. Give my understanding to the best show, greatest show in the world.
Appreciate it.
No doubt. I think the biggest thing, like Confederate State was saying earlier, is and it's always been taught. It's the fear that they gave us of dying that get us
Right.
to not do. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The more they put you in a position to take away from you when you speak up for what you believe in and what's right, is the fear of losing. You understand what I'm saying? I was looking at Kanye earlier this week on the stuff that he was saying, and as long as Kanye was being a help to people and making them famous and putting money in their pocket, making them rich, and those things, including with Kim Kardashian, he was being stupid and being a fool, then people loved him.
Yeah.
But then when he started speaking against the people that control the most things in this world, in America, now everybody leave him alone. Get away from him. We don't want you. We don't like you. They everything that he owns or that's a part of him, they dismantle from it. But when it was cool, they made money off of him. You understand what I'm saying? He has put Adidas on the map since Run DMC.
Come on now.
You understand what I'm saying? Run DMC brought out the shell toe, but when he signed to Adidas numbers went out the roof. You understand what I'm saying? There was no shoe ever in Adidas history that was more than $200 than his, and people bought them. It's just sad that the fact that when they make, when they have made their money and they have bought everything they need to buy, they have used you. It's just totally wrong to dismantle you when you believe in a certain thing. You know, if he wasn't right, why get upset? You understand what I'm saying? And it just hurt. And look at all the black athletes and the black supporters and the people that was around him in his circle. You know what I'm saying? That knew him and that used him for his musicianship and everything that he knew, his business mind. You know, this is what they do. You know what I'm saying? When you start tearing down their system as a whole, this is what they do. They try to destroy you. They try to take everything from you, take your livelihood, take your support. You know, get people to turn against you. But that's what they've been doing since the beginning of time to our people. And it's just time for our people to, you know, it's time for us to fight back on that stuff. You know what I mean? It's time, like I say, it's time for this new generation to stand up and swing back. Now, our parents are older. You understand what I'm saying? They in their 70s, some of them in their 80s, some in their late 60s and stuff like that. But it's time for the generation to stand up and swing back. You understand what I'm saying? That's just what it's time for. It's time. You know, I was listening to Love Doctor. He was talking about the sports situation. You know, it's okay to be athletic because that's what we've been all our life. But at the end of the day, we only get upset when our own athletes that we support and love so much, and that we go watch and see, they don't come back and do nothing for us. You understand what I'm saying? They don't step back and say, man, let's go back and go take care of our folks, take care of our people. There were people that lost they sports card as athletes because they stood up for the righteousness of black people. You understand what I'm saying? Great guys that were great athletes. They put their career on the line. You understand what I'm saying? To get that understanding for some superiority within this land. But they lost everything they had. Everything they had. You know, people don't know nothing about the guys that stood in the Olympics with their fists balled up. Man, them guys' lives were totally destroyed by these people. They didn't teach us that when we was in education school. They didn't say nothing about them. Yeah, they didn't say nothing about them. That's right.
You know, one thing, nephew, I was thinking about when you was talking. What people don't realize, and if you watch us, and I'm sure you do, I've been doing a couple of demonstrations with the kids some money.
Right.
That's who want the money, take the money. I said, now what you got to do? Think about it. Is it practical? I just gave you this money. What they do with the Kanye West and the other athletes, when they get them these contracts, LeBron James, they only get a contract because it gives them their right back to ownership of the sponsor. I mean, the person.
That's right.
They basically bait to bring our people in to buy attractive. Then remember, they create the media hype to make you buy it. Nike, Reebok, all these people the same. Some of these Nike, and most people don't know, Reebok and Adidas are owned by the same people.
Same people, yep.
Hold on, really?
Yes.
You know the Nazis own Adidas.
Who?
You said what?
Adolf Dassler, the Nazi, owns Adidas.
Yeah, and that's one of his kick up. That was one of the things he thought they would be with him. But see, what they did, these people learn how to make money.
I feel like they're all connected.
Let me tell you, if you're gonna make money out here, I had to deal with people. There are certain things you can't say, certain things you can't do, certain places you can't go. If you're gonna make money, that's just being. If you're gonna make money, that's how they sell out. It's a way you have to make money and still keep it. I tell them, I make my money, I still keep my integrity. Ain't nobody boy. You put no hand up in nothing. You ain't helping me. You ain't gonna close my. Ain't gonna be your boy. I don't need that. That's money. That's bad money.
That's right.
You know. These guys don't realize they're being bought. Look at the people. Kanye West grew up without a father, as well LeBron James. These things at a certain time. I remember my dad would teach me how to say no. I remember we didn't have a car until I was 16. My mom bought me a car, and I was our family car from when we was 4 or 5. We lost the car. But anyway, I remember we would be at the bus stop, and sometimes people on the way asked us to want to ride. My dad would say, "No, thank you."
No,
that's right. Man, are you out your damn man? You know, I'm a kid, you know, thinking, man, we had this bus stop home. And I see that car right. I'm watching this car go. It's like, please come back. At least let me ride. But you know, I didn't understand it at the time, and I really hated him for a lot of his principal stand. But what he tried to show me was, you don't have to take something from people just because they give it to you.
That's right.
And I was a kid, like you go to people how they always say, no thing, you know, look at him like, huh? I'm hungry. Did you want to see? Can I get something to eat? And they just realize, yes, I'm hungry, but you
Right.
don't accept everything
Take
because
everything.
people are over
That's
to you.
That's
And you
right.
know, as a kid, you don't know. So it's certain things that I'm a little more alert to and
Look,
conscious
yes,
of that these guys wouldn't, because remember, these are two guys who grew up without their fathers in the home.
that's right.
So
That's
mother
right.
had them here, so you try to get what you can. Mother pour feelings out to everybody. Mama looking for somebody
Right.
to help. And that's what these
Right.
guys look at, somebody to love them like mama did, because I got this
Right.
boy and I'm raising
Right.
by myself. So I'm looking for somebody to
Yes,
love
sir.
me and my kid and take us in and help us out. So they
Yes,
go
sir.
and run into these contracts and they don't realize they're not helping them out. So
That's
they'll
right.
create bad around you, they'll take you down. And the time you look at this, Adidas made billions of dollars. Okay.
Billions.
Kanye West
Yes,
a
they
billion.
have.
They made more than he made.
That's
He
right.
did not make
That's
equal
right.
with it. Split.
That's right.
They made way more than he made.
That's
And
right.
we created a monster that has
Right.
our people and don't know which way to go with him. Then they drop the monster. So now you cut these
Right.
people, teach all these other athletes by this one destruction of him. That guess what?
Right.
Does
Right.
anybody want to try this?
Yep. 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 Yep.
So everybody's scared for their money, who are afraid to realize if we came together, if we
Right.
just came together,
Came
we
together.
can stop a lot of this. Like
That's
and
right.
Confederation 48 said it the best. There's no way to do it without us dying. We
That's
done
right.
peaceful protesting people. The
That's
water
that's
hose,
right.
those people were peaceful, and they put the water
Peaceful.
hose in the dog on.
Yep.
It's no
That's
way
right.
you don't get in the line if you ain't willing to put
Yep.
everything on.
On
That's
the
just
line.
it.
That's right.
Because
That's right.
until enough of us step up and
Mhm.
make a stand for our independence and our right
That's
to
right.
liberties, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, and freedom that's given us from our creator and not from
That's
them.
right.
Or
Not
they
from them. That's
legislation.
right.
You can't legislate
That's right.
nothing for me. There's no
That's
bill
right.
you can sign. Because if you sign a
Mhm.
bill, you can erase it.
Yeah. Erase
The
it.
bill
That's
was
right.
already put.
That's right.
I'm telling you, that's why I say I'm against going to white people asking them to print something for me
Right.
to let me go. That get
Right.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, but I ain't gonna
That's
ask you
right.
for permission.
I ain't asked for
And
nothing.
that's what
That's right.
listen, this is our right to establish
That's right.
ourselves, not because of no white men died or no black men. This is our right as
All
human
right.
beings.
That's right. That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? And
That's
I
right.
really
That's
want
right.
to, would like to. I put a one comment up that one of our extra he posted that this weekend some of our people was meeting in Washington D.C. and I was very irritated when I saw it, and I was irritated
Yeah.
for the fact, why didn't I know this before now?
Right. Right.
But
That's right.
but 4 years ago, black
Mhm.
people, quote unquote, we passed the news through each other. If
That's right.
something was going on, we communicated to tell
Got
somebody.
around.
You
That's
know,
right.
such this weekend, so we
Right.
could tell each other about a party.
That's right.
When
That's
frequently
right.
nobody didn't find out when they came or this weekend.
Right.
I'm really sad that
Yeah.
now
Right.
I'm seeing about this now. This should have been publicized everywhere.
Everywhere. That's right.
Every people been on notice saying, listen,
Right.
them niggas is getting together and they
Yeah.
ain't getting together just to, when we get together and talk and we agree on it. That's it.
Yeah.
All I want to do is get with them and say, what are we looking for?
That's
This
right.
is what we
That's
want.
right.
And once we agree, we
What we
come
need
out
to
the
do.
home. Listen,
That's
it
it.
by at that point in time, this is what we came up with. This by any
That's
means.
right.
This is
That's
not.
right.
This ain't
That's
no.
right.
You know what I'm saying? We'll come back with a Lord. Once we declare what it is, that
That's
got
right.
it.
That's right.
Once we
That's
declare
right.
we want freedom, we want
That's
the right to exist. Our
That's right.
neighborhood back, and we're gonna get them
That's
cleaned
right.
up. We get the gangs out. Listen, you either
That's right.
ganging and being a part, or you for the gang up
Right.
and get your ass out of here. That's
That's
it. There's no
That's
way.
right.
We
Got to
should
go.
our community never existed with kids running us. How are we running
That's
from
right.
kids? 12 year
That's
old kids
right.
will get us running.
That's right.
Pull up in a car and just get out and start shooting up apartment building. Where does this exist at?
No, never.
Who
No,
okay
they never
with
did
it?
that. That's
Because
right.
there's a system that because let me guess, he goes to the store to buy these bullets. Let's go with the illegal guns. What about the
Right.
bullets? You got to get bullets for these guns.
That's right. You gotta get ammunition.
Where are
That's right.
y'all purchasing all these bullets from? Nobody
That's
asking
right.
you.
From who?
I can give you all the guns in the world. If you ain't got no bullets, you do better
Right.
with a rock.
Right. That's right.
There is
right.
a system
That's right.
that is predatory
That's right.
on our people that are supplying these guys. These guys say, where you go in the store and you buy all these rounds? You ain't
Rounds.
using
That's
none of
right.
the juice. They're not
That's
reporting you.
right. That's right. That's
I
right.
if I order 15,000 rounds, you don't think no ATM coming to see me?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You going through a system that's scanning this stuff that you buying all these bullets and you got all this ammunition, and you got this stuff sitting up here, and you're underage. For one thing, you're underage. You have to have identification about ammunition and guns, and then the guns that they're using
we
are
have
trick
to
guns.
we have to have
Yeah,
not them.
yeah, that's true. Not them. That's true. My fault. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. You gotta have two types of ID. Yeah. We gotta have two types of ID.
And your grandma.
Yeah. Gotta call somebody, man. You got a birth certificate, go get a birth certificate. I don't think this you.
Right.
It's bad that our children, and you know what? I'm gonna be really real. A lot of this has come from a bad stigma in education, in the school rearing. The school has got so soft. You know, we talked about it, a couple guys I know, but we was in school, man. We had some tough teachers. You understand what I'm saying? We had some tough teachers. I mean, even though the women, we had some men, but the women, they were some real women. You understand what I'm saying? And they wanted you to be a man. Now in the school system now, oh man, I go to these school halls, I just shake my head like, what in the world has happened to our system? Everybody walking around. I mean, 95% of school is I mean, this is middle school. When my daughter was in middle school, I see kids and children laying on each other. This is middle school. Girls laying on each other. Boys laying on each other.
Wow.
Wait a minute, man. What? I'm like, I had to look up like, no, man. But the teachers, they walk by, don't say nothing. You know, yeah. It's just no caring. No, you know, back then we was in school. If you held hands with a girl, hey, let that girl hand go. Where y'all going?
Yeah.
Come back here. They follow you. They go find you because they know where you're going. You understand what I'm saying? But these kids just on each other, boys, and I mean, this is boy on boy, girl on girl. I said, look at this garbage. But the system is weak. It's trained to weaken our people, and it's mostly to weaken our men. You know what I mean? It's to weaken the men. Man, these guys' conversation so effed up, and I'm sorry to use that word. I can't talk to some of these guys. I mean, my head hurt when I have a conversation with guys. I'm like, man, where the hell y'all get this conversation from? Talk like this, man. Like, man, what a men at? I don't know. I'm lost for words. I'm not lying, but we got to swing back. I mean, the little we do have, we got to fight back because everybody not gonna come. I understand people got to worry about their finances, and they got to worry about their job and their reputation and their life, and you know, I know they're getting ready to celebrate their little holidays coming up, and they worry more about their shit than anything. Right. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just looking like, man, y'all still just don't care. It's a don't care in the world. But the little we do have, they want to do something, we got to get together and get it done. We got to get it done. We can't wait on them. They not gonna come. They not half of them now already done sold out for it. You understand what I'm saying? So we just gotta hoping that we can come along and hoping to change them in a way. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm striving hard. I talk to people. I see where they mind it. Some of the old cats, I mean, you know, these guys 50 plus or 40 something plus. Man, I just be want to throw up. I'm not kidding y'all. I be want to throw up, man. These are older guys. These guys supposed to be teaching me.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? They supposed to be teaching me. They weaker than the women. I said, man, this shit. I gotta go listen to the whale, y'all. I'm sorry, but that's for real. That's for real. Yeah. I mean, Houston is bad, man. It's bad up here. But I hope y'all. I send a belated birthday out to you, Raha. I thank the Most High for you. Yes, sir. I thank the Most High for you. They let you see another one. Many more to come, man. Because we need you, man.
They want to see it. I appreciate it. There's a lot of folks that want to see it.
Yeah, I know it. You all we got, man. You all we got. And I'm definitely on apply for you. I apply for you every day. That'll give you the strength to keep leading our people, man, and teaching our people, because you the only one want to tell us the truth. You're the only one that care about us. You know, these guys worried about themselves. They care about themselves. You know what I mean? I see it in their face. I hear it in their voice. I hear it in their message. These guys don't give a damn about us. You all we got. And the great people that's behind you, man, I hope all of them. all y'all. This show, the way of y'all, the assistant ministers, the people, the parents, everybody in there. It's a wonderful thing to see. So I thank the Most High for all of y'all. So I'll hug y'all to the heart. And I say, man,
Love you too, man.
the fist will always stay tight. Always
Definitely.
stay tight.
We
No
appreciate
doubt.
you. I
No
know
doubt.
that's right. The struggle is
Yes,
real.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm gonna keep. I'm hit that cash app before I lay down. So
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Hit that subscribe, that follow. Yeah,
Yes,
we
sir.
appreciate it.
You keep the struggle, Confederate State for a day, brother. You're a very intelligent brother, man.
Amen.
Very
Yeah.
intelligent brother, man. Yes, sir. That's one of our great teachers. That's gonna be one of our great teachers right there, man.
That's
So,
it.
like I say, man. Oh yeah, and get you a gun.
That's
Get
right.
you a
Yeah,
gun.
that's
Get
right,
you,
man.
get yourself a gun. Hey, like I say, I keep it on me all day long.
Listen,
My
there you
man,
go.
my man.
I keep it like that. I strap it over my draw.
That's right.
Strap it
All right. It go everywhere I go.
Yeah, man, gotta listen. I don't listen, Tim. I ain't trying to start nothing with nobody. I'm just making sure everybody who's starting there with me.
I'm saying I tell like this here. You started, believe me, I'm gonna end it. Like I say, so it's gonna be bad for you. That's what I let them know. It's gonna be real bad for you. So I'll hug y'all, man. I'm behind you 100%. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem. Thank y'all. No problem.
Hug you too, man.
Yes, sir.
We get more of our man minded to just be a part that won't change, that want to do something different. But unfortunately, I mean, it's hard. It's really hard, man. It's scary because you can see where these people, they have the power. It's because our people allow them to just, excommunicate people, make your own people excommunicate you, and make your people think that you're the enemy. Nobody can come in here and say I robbed them, I took nothing from them, raped them, or kidnapped their kids, anything. They can't do it. They do. You just tell a flat lie. If that was the case, I've been incarcerated. But it's just sad that they'll love people that allow them and do them harm and hurt and don't care about their welfare or their continual existence. You exist while you live, and after you die, your existence is gone. So you look to pretty much leave a seed behind so it can continue that lifespan to go. That where you stop, the next seed will pick up and it'll go further. And Tula and I have 6 grandkids. My expectation for them is to put them in a different mindset and see them in a different setting and look for them to pick up the baton from there and go further. Boys know what's expected out of them, but you're really looking for these kids to attach themselves and pay attention, big on getting on them about stuff. And right now they don't understand it, someone, but later they'll appreciate the fact that somebody took time out to tell them, think about your decision. Think about what looks like opportunity can actually be traps. Now, I know people taking employment other places. We talked before, and I gave some advice, and they came back. They said, "What? Just because I'm paying more money don't make it better. Like I'm gonna go somewhere and get more money. A lot of times they don't realize anytime the pay increases, so does the responsibility. America does not give people of color $1 billion over a lifetime. You make 140 million shooting a ball or running, chasing a ball or somebody with a ball. What you think the only responsibility you have is on this field? We're only playing 17 games, 82 games, playoffs. I'm paying you for something other than that. That's not common sense that you give me $140 million for 3 years. We only play 17 games.
Right.
Absolutely.
I control you off the field. Then it's the fact that white people look at this. The money, giving away the money ain't a problem because they can always get it back. Listen, between fines, when they come out of the field, if your socks roll down, that's a fine. If your shirt come out, that's a fine. Then you got other fines you're gonna get. We went over the tapes after the season. They go back and review all the tapes. They hand out fines. Teams go back, take the money back. Where does this money go? In their pocket. They pay you to make a fool out of you. It's almost like playing always the ball. I let you win 20. I come back. I take 100 million. When Mankovic got that big contract, got 23 million signed, they took that other money. They had to come back and give him back the signing bonus later, but they didn't give him back his life or what they took from him when I was reduced down to nothing. What about that part of me you stripped, that hope you took? What about that drain that I can never put back? Yet our people keep thinking you're getting something. No, you're getting duped. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I hear Derek go. I hear Derek's on 6'3". I'm saying that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We got to. All we trying to do is keep existing out here. I ain't mad. It's all right. You know what these folk did through Christianity? It's wrong to own a gun. Once you go tell that to the police.
Facts.
Once you go tell it to the military. Once you go and tell them God don't like guns, they're gonna burn in hell. They don't say that. They bother our quote unquote people of color and try to reduce us down and make us believe that we're gonna burn for having a gun. Yet the person that made the gun, the white man, why God ain't gonna send the man in hell that made the gun? It's always the person by the gun going to hell, quote unquote. But the person that made the guns, who made the bullet, ain't going. When we ever heard that? That's how the system gets us every time.
System mentality.
Got a point.
Dr. Joe, you've been kind of quiet over there. What's going on?
Just listening. I've been thinking about this Kanye West situation. I know they have diagnosed him with bipolarism 1. And I was just wondering, like, what you guys think about that, because I feel like he's transitioned so much within his life, and I feel like you were just talking about things are not for free. So at some point, I think something had to happen in his life that he completely became a different person, and now he's being diagnosed with bipolarism. But it feels more like it's not him. So yes, I'm just listening to what you're saying. I do feel like people have to sell their souls in order to achieve a certain level in their lives. I don't think you could ever become a professional rapper or a famous without selling your soul. It's just impossible. You have to go through this door in order to get there. So I feel like that's what happened to Kanye. So I was just listening to you guys, and yeah, like, what do you guys think about that bipolarism diagnosis that they're giving him? He's publicly said that he has bipolarism 1, which is the highest one.
Something they made up. All these ailments they got.
That's what I believe. Yep.
I mean, the same people been here. They created these ailments, gave them a name, just like women came up with it, mental abuse. Women been fussed at for years. Well, they're breaking that because once people found out there was an illness for it and they call it a sickness, people jump on board because it makes an excuse. So when a woman does something, she can say it's become abuse. It's been abuse before. My dad used to yell at me. Oh, I used to get yelled at. Oh, and it breaking me down. Yeah, nobody want to be yelled at. The purpose of yelling at you is to get you to pay attention and stop doing something you're doing. And that's been used on all. A lot of men ain't messed up from yelling. Oh, it's because made them know because people they give you sicknesses to give you an excuse so they can create crimes. Me too. If a man comes up, hey, baby, so I've been looking at you, and I'm interested in you, and he does that 3 times, that sexual harassment, she gets a mental check. She going to court. It's retarded. Yeah, okay, if a man come back, it's because they say, hey, don't take no the first time. That's the saying. So, man, if he ain't putting hands on you, harassing you, blowing up your dress, blowing in your ear, yeah, man, he's just talking. Hey, what I'm saying? I'm not saying you and I can go out. I mean, we talk, get something. No, they'll come out. Oh, this 3 times. Now I can't work no more. I'm gonna need to quit my job. I need workman comp. I gotta go to court, and so I can never do that. Just stop. Just stop.
Yeah. What about how it makes them feel?
They just passed a law, by the way, about that you can actually take somebody to court if you feel like they're mentally or psychologically abusing you. So they just passed the law for that, because I know we were discussing that.
Many guys can get drug in the court with this foolishness? How many jobs these women finna get out who don't want to work and finna blame it on the employer so somebody job.
But they passed the law, Doctor. It reminded me of you. Because, before it could only be physical and you have to take it to the authorities, where now it could also be mentally. They just recently, actually, a week ago or something like that, passed this law. But you know what's sad? It's sad the mental illnesses does exist. But because people are abusing it and people are taking it for granted and people are just not, just saying I have a mental illness without having that mental illness, then it's becoming something people are not taking serious. Everyone has mental illness now, which at some point it's true because of depression and anxiety. But even with medication, I feel like people are abusing medication because of mental illnesses. But it's true, a lot of people do lie on that mental illness, but a lot of people do have that mental illness.
They're like people that wear sweaters in the summertime. That's a
That's
mental
mental
illness.
illness.
And then mess up with people who
I
wear
don't
tank
know.
You know what you should have done? I'm gonna tell you something. If you were really serious about what you're doing, you should have a tank top on or a muscle shirt.
Open it up. I told you. I knew you were gonna open it up. I'm ready. Let's
You're
do
not gonna
it.
do it.
Open it up. Open it
You're
up. I
not
know it's
gonna
about
do it.
time. Go ahead. Go
What
ahead.
is
Teach. Teach. Go ahead.
No, he will not.
Go ahead. Let's
What
see.
is it?
Let him do it tonight.
Open
Do
it
what?
up. I told him we was
Take
at the beach.
it
I
out.
told him. I say I'm ready. Let's do it. He said, "Hold on." I said, "Okay."
Here you go, Buck. Whatever.
Listen.
What is it?
Listen. Women say I give them cavities because of all this eye candy.
Please.
Oh my goodness.
Now is that a mental illness or is that just made up?
Yes. Yes.
Mental illness. Dry mental illness.
Hey, in the words of Big Cookie, I'm therapizing the people. I see Big Cookie be listening. Now they're therapizing the people. That's right.
Love doctor. Hello?
That's what. Go ahead, Confederate.
Oh, yeah. Love doctor. Could you but talk about like I'm sorry, I'm bumbling with my words. As Dr. Joe was just stating about the mental illness of Kanye West, there was something that Kanye West done that people may say he has a mental illness, which I do believe to some degree. But when he actually made the fashion line for White Lives Matter, are y'all familiar with that?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people got in a tirade about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we actually look at what Kanye did, it was a little short of genius. And I'm explaining why. Because I think people are one-sided as looking at as to why he did it. I can't say what the operation of his mind is, but if I were to kind of give a description as to why he done it, I would probably say Kanye West looked on the other spectrum of his children, meaning that his children are part white, they're biracial, and so to not to justify his actions, that could have been one of the motives he used to fuel this controversy for that clothing line, because after all, he did have children from a Caucasian. And so if his children were to raise the question, well, Dad, you're black, you said Black Lives Matter, but what about Mom's life? She's white. What about our white side? I'm not justifying, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's just something to consider. Maybe he done that with that, with that in mind, and then also to draw either popularity or controversy from doing so. So I don't think it was just a outright blatant attack on Black Lives Matter or any group of people for that matter. But I do believe.
I think we're losing him.
Thank you. Lost his reception, though. But you're making some valid points.
Have you guys watched that movie Get Out? Because I'm sorry, I thought since I was young.
Yeah, I've seen it.
What do you guys think about that? Because every time I see Kanye, I think about that movie, and I might be crazy. I might be, because it's just weird the way he acts. I understand. I kind of see things as a.
So think about it like this, Dr. Joe. It's only weird the way he acts is because that's what media is portraying to you. You got to keep in mind it's the same guy who came out with the college album College Dropout, was like the number one at the top of the charts, and he was like a genius. So people, the same way they do him, the same way they do Bill Cosby, same way they do Michael Jackson, initially all of them are talented and genius, and then when they're tired of them, all of them are painted to be crazy. So you got to make certain that your perspective ain't just shifted off of what you see on TV. You follow me?
Yeah, well, yeah, I do. I agree with you 100%. With the bipolarism, the maniac area of the person is a little bit of genius when they're in that maniac area. That's when you start speaking very intelligent. So that's why they're excusing their diagnosis, because That maniac of him is when he talks genius, and then the other part of him is when he goes down in depression. So that's why they're saying he has bipolarism. But
think about it like this: how many people with bipolar you know are billionaires? So even if he was a bipolar, everybody knew his diagnosis. But how many of these companies they still, when they sign contracts with this guy who's bipolar and all this other stuff is bipolar? So what I'm saying is, even if he is bipolar, whatever he is, he's elevated to a status that only a tenth of a percent of people have been able to elevate to. So when we frame people as being crazy and being stupid and being all this insufficient, I mean, to a degree, how are you this stupid if you able to build all these different relationships to elevate to whatever particular point you're trying to do? And all of a sudden he's crazy, he's stupid, everything else, whatever the case may be. Because the reality of it, he's always been saying regular dumb stuff, crazy stuff, and all this other stuff too. He's a rapper. He's made a lot of different music that's been constructive to the actual black community too, you know?
No, I think he's very intelligent, but like Tony said,
I made that money.
Exactly.
I feel like they used him as an example to say, okay, this is what we can do to you, right? You can't. I don't know. His life, it's something to me. I'm very curious about Kanye and the way he portrays himself and what they've done to him overall.
Can we look at this? How about let's look at Kanye? Let's do a contrast. Let's contrast Kanye West, okay, Elon Musk, all right, and let's just throw Tony Smith in there, okay? Now, all of these people are successful in what they do. Correct? Can we all agree on that, right? Now, let's look at Elon Musk's platform, right? He can be looked at bipolar because why? He want to fly to space. He want to start Twitter. He's all over the place, but he's successful in doing it, right? Now let's look at Kanye West, right? Rapper, Yeezy shoes, politics, right? But then let's look at Ron Smith, preacher, right? Teacher, businessman, right? A community leader, right? It's not about what you do; it's about the platform in which what's your platform. See, Ron Smith platform is this: I don't compromise. I stand flat footed. You see, my platform is who I am. My platform, if you take my platform away from me, I'm still who I am. You see what I mean? Because if you look at this, I'm going to say this real quick. If you look at what I speak and where y'all synagogue, when you go on YouTube, why is it categorized as entertainment?
Hatred, war, and poverty.
That's how they get us every time.
We know it's not entertainment.
Turn it down a little bit. That's our time coming to an end. The Paris State Party, you know, we love you. Will Harvey, nephew E, Arnaz. I did see that. We'll connect Arnaz on. But we hope that we brought something to you guys for the little time we was able to come in your home or your radio, wherever on your computer. Just say, hey, we can do it. Let's work together. Let's not give up. Let's keep pressing. You know, the Most High got a plan for us. We just got to stay on the path. Hey, everybody on you tell me you always mind. Every Thursday, right here on 2 mics and my mind. And nobody else told you they love you. Hey, we love you. Now let me just call her home. Truly love Dr. Resident Joe. Take us home.
Yeah.
For tuning in tonight. We hope that we have shared something with you that you can take back. Always come back next week, y'all willing, and share what you thought, what went on with you in the week, so that we can discuss it. I will leave you with this because we talk about mental illness and people just not being all the way together. It's okay if you fall apart sometimes. Tacos fall apart and we still love them.
Yeah. Yeah.
She came back strong from last week.
Is this
It's okay if you fall apart sometimes. Tacos fall apart and we still love them. So we still love y'all. You fall apart, we gonna be here. We got you.
Hey.
Got you.
Yeah, we'll have
y'all take it easy now.
We can't do what we do without you guys.
I do for the cash.
We're about to take it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Tony and Julie on the radio. Dr. Joe's therapy on the radio. The love doctor going live on the radio. Two mics and a mind on the radio. Radio, turned up 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 on the radio. Two mics and a mind. Two mics and a mind. Two mics and a mind. Two mics and a mind.
All right. You do something better. I'll do something better. And guess what? We will be better together. Until next week. Good night.
Taco and burrito.
Good night, Tuli.
Bye.